In Japan, we think they're scary, but they're fancy. From my perspective, I don't know what other people think, but I think they're fancy, but I kind of a little bit scary. Okay, the reason. When I was a child, when I was in elementary school, junior high school, or high school, there are no black people in Shibuya or in Roppongi. If you go out at night, there's so many black people there. But like when I was a kid, like I don't go out, so like I didn't talk with them, and only my impression was like, I don't know if they're still there, but like if you go to Takeshita Dori in Harajuku, there are some black people trying to sell watch, like hand watch, and they're kind of like trying to sell the watch like aggressively, and that was only my impression for black people when I was a child. So maybe that's why, because I was seeing like kind of black people, like pretty sure they're also kind, but their way to sell something was kind of aggressive. So that's why I felt scary. I never had got to talk with them until I turned 20 in my life. So, because there are no black people. If you go to Shibuya or like, I don't know, Roppongi, or currently there's so many like black people there. I grew up in Tokyo, but around my place, there are no black people. And then actually when I went to Tanzania for the first time when I was in university, I was so scared. There are no Asians. And even I didn't see any like white people there. There are only black people. And I was like, oh, this is so scary. I don't know, I just felt so scary. And then people at the airport had a gun. And I never seen gun in my life. So I was like, oh, this is so scary. But after that volunteering, I realized, oh, they're actually really kind. And it's so nice to talk with them. But after that, I was studying abroad in Taiwan. I made a lot of friends, black people friends there. Like from Canada or from America, also studying abroad in Taiwan, and actually I've dated with a black person for 3 months, but it just started dating, and after that, she like I have only friends from abroad here in Tokyo, and she's also black. And it's fancy because that is because if you go to Shibuya or Roppongi or Harajuku, I'm pretty sure you see a lot of modeling advertisement sign like black people wearing cloth. That's it.
Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. So there's been a lot of conversation online lately, especially on X and other platforms, where some people in Japan are opening up about their fears or perceptions of black people. Now, many of these views are not based on real life experiences, but on stereotypes, and they are picked up over time through media or cultural messaging. Now, it's very important to understand how these ideas are formed and why they persist rather than just reaching to them at face value. So, you guys, I've gathered a few clips here of black people responding to that because this is trending, and Japanese people are just coming out confessing that they fear black people. Why they fear them? They have their own reasons why they fear these people, and so black people are responding to that. Now, before we get into that, this video is meant to explore that discussion, break down where these assumptions come from, and encourage more understanding. It's not about supporting bullying or harassment, but about learning and, of course, having more informed conversation. Let's get into the video, and of course I'll be back with my commentary.
So I finally started reading some of the tweets that I think people were talking about when it comes to Japanese people speaking on black people in their country. Now, first thing I will say, we know that Twitter is a bot factory. Half of these people try to fake that they're one group or another. So sometimes you don't really know. They try to give you a false sense of reality. But I'm reading the tweets and I'm seeing other people's reaction to them as like confirmation bias, where they're just promoting these awful ideas. And it just goes into just how all of this like white supremacy or someone else's like ethnic group supremacy over another one, it's just politics of fear. Because that's all I hear. Like I'm reading these tweets, they talk about the skeletal structure and they're different. They say if I got pinned down, it would be over in seconds, or I would die with one punch, or even the women are strong. And I'm just like, these people are just so afraid. And I'm thinking of like historically, like Japan has a not so good history when it comes to other Asian countries and how they believed that they were the superior, I would say, race in that region of the world. And here we are, years after that. This is the inevitable conclusion. Like, if you exist in a politics or a reality of trying to prove your supremacy through violence over others, your literal descendants are going to spend their waking years terrified of the actual world. And like, when like white supremacists are gonna jump on this, because I think they already have. I already saw a video from that Google Tech Tone talking about this. One thing to highlight is that, like, and this is gonna be a bit rude, like, Japan is a literal die-in society. When you talk about like the replacement rate, which is what all of these crazy white supremacists are obsessed with, Japan as something that is formally trying to isolate itself from interaction with the outside world and other cultures, right? They're at 1.15%, and the replacement rate is 2.1. And so we're getting down to the point where in the next 20 to 30 years, we're going to be seeing something crazy from Japanese society in which they're not going to really be able to sustain themselves. And it's just politics of fear, which is like even like canceling the idea of trying to like interact with other cultures, because they had like 4 towns that were supposed to have like African migrants, and then people thought it was a replacement strategy. And like, I find it crazy because like there's always like the stereotype that there are like black dudes that love Japan, but like there's always an example of just how Japan doesn't want you. And these people that are like glamorizing Japan and the ways in which they operate, which even like a lot of white supremacists, like Jared Taylor is a guy, he wrote a whole book about how I think the Japanese were on a higher level than other people, right? I think it was white Japanese and then someone else. These are dying ideas that lead to the stagnation and I think the deterioration of your state. This whole I can't interact with these other people, and I believe that any kind of difference destroys my country's future. Like, literally ends up destroying your country. And so, like, I know it's not all Japanese people, but, like, it's a crazy idea about how all of these movements feed each other, and their fearful ass ideas just continue to feed the stupid cycle. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, I cannot remember what the topic was, but I just briefly saw like 2 videos about Japanese people supposedly tweeting about how much they're scared of black people, how much they don't like black people. And I'm reading a video, I'm watching a video, and I stopped to think because I'm like, I feel like I've either read or looked into this conversation before, right? About how harmful like stereotypes are, right? And how there's a huge portion of people, I want to say in Asia, who have this idea of what black people are like, right? And I don't even understand. I know for a fact it has to do with the way that black people have been portrayed for years. You know what I'm saying? How we're pushed out into the media and things like that. Racism, all of it, right? And how they think that, like, you know how people love to always associate in Asia, like, especially K-pop. And I mentioned K-pop because it's a familiar area for me because I'm a K-pop stan, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like I see a lot of the dramatic, like, a lot of the things that go on in K-pop and like, racism and all that stuff. Like, Wendy, for example. Oh, these are how black girls are. Okay, girl, okay, girl, right? This idea that we speak with such, you know what I'm saying? We're like this and we're like that and we're all loud and stuff like that and we're all just muscular. There was this one time on, oh my God, some kind of show, some kind of dance show happening maybe in Korea where they're like, oh, these Korean girls are dancing against another team, and I think the team has like 2 black girls on it, 1 black girl. I can't remember. Mind you, I know for a fact this girl's so popular. The fact that I can't remember her name is like killing me. But they're like, oh, this is not a fair fight. Basically, like insinuating that she's black, she's built a certain kind of way. All black people can dance, all black people can rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like actually insane. But people are tweeting, oh, if I were to see a black person, they would take me down in a minute. Oh my, and it's such a level of ignorance because the idea that you think that black people are so singular, so black and white, so one dimensional. You know what I'm saying? That there's not a multitude of people that belong to this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Apparently, Japanese people are afraid of us, if it wasn't already obvious. But it's going viral on Twitter because they posting a lot of threads talking about our bone structure and them being in our presence and basically making us sound like Viltrumites. Thing is, what have we done to make y'all so scared of us like that? One of the threads, they even said, you know, they stay next to some black people and they don't cause no commotion, but they just still afraid of them, and that's just insane. My opinion as a black man, bro, we are some of the most friendliest, smiliest people on earth until you push us. People gonna be like, oh, the crime rate, bro. Ain't no crime rate down there. It's not even enough black people down there for that to even be consistent. That's just plain racism. Most of the crime that goes on down there, or the people that cause commotion, are Chinese people, Europeans, and Nigerians. That same instance, here come white people. Anytime somebody got something cool to say about us, here they come trying to demean us. And it's like, y'all be the same ones saying y'all are always playing victim, but got the most to say about us and then get mad when we retaliate. Thing is, bro, just leave us the fuck alone. Just stay out of our business. let us have our moment. And you won't have to worry about that. Conversation is between black people and Japanese people. Ain't nobody asked for y'all whack ass 2 cents. And I don't go for just white people. That goes for any other race that got some jealous bullshit to say. Overall, I think it's pretty cool. I'd rather them say we look tough and scary rather than soft and weak. So it's a win-win for me.
Okay, so watching these clips, I was, you know, it's very hard to even start this commentary because I think a lot of fear from different races, fear of black people among different races has a lot to do with the background, yeah. It has to do with stereotypes, yeah. So a lot of these races have been uh, uh, taught very, very bad things about black people. They have been taught when you see a black person, you see an aggressive person. When you see a black person, you see violence. When you see black person, it's all related to something very, very evil, something very, very bad. So I don't blame Japanese coming on line to confess their fear of black people, because I have seen it. It's not a thing of today. It's not now we are seeing these videos popping up online, because we have seen, right, like we see some white folks teaching their kids. Maybe they hold up a black door and a white door, and they are teaching their child this when you see this black person, it's violence, it's bad and stuff like that. So people grow up with that fear of black people. And so I like the fact that also we are seeing people from different races finally getting to know about black people one on one, unlike what they have been taught. And this is the reason why we are now seeing interracial marriages. We are seeing things like that, and people from different races coming to confess their fear, and of course also coming to just say that black people are real good people. You accept that fact. Why? Because they are getting to learn who black people are one on one, not based on what they have been taught, not based on stereotypes. And so this is all good. This is so good. And I feel that for the tweets that are trending, yeah, on X, they are trending because not that people are making those tweets, rather these Japanese making those tweets are now in fear of black people. It's because they are confessing that way because they had that fear, but it's no longer there. They are finally getting to know one on one who black people are and what they really are and what they mean in their lives. We have seen white people coming to confess that, you know, way back in old days, their father, they used to grow up, and they could see how these black folks were being mistreated by people who were very, very close to them. And so when they grew up and finally learned that it's not who these people are, like they are different people, they are just confessing, oh, black people, we are very sorry, this is what is happening, oh, black people this, black people that. And I just like it that people are finally waking up. They are finally waking up, and they are seeing who black people really are, and not based on what they have been taught by people who are very close to them. You know, when you grow up in a home where you see your father doing something and you see your mother doing the same thing, it's very, very difficult to just keep away from that, because it's culture. It's in it's culture. For it becomes culture, yeah. It's tradition, I don't know, between the two, yeah, and stuff like that. So I think basically it is good that these people are finally getting to see who black people are, and I am happy because when you hate someone based on another person's narrative of that person, it is bad. You'll never get to enjoy the benefits of that person or what that person can offer because of the impression you have that is very wrong from somebody else. Yeah. So it is what it is, you guys. Just share your thoughts in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about this. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. I'll definitely catch you in the next one.